South Africa is home to many beautiful things that have been discovered, preserved, built, and maintained by South Africans who ran the country before the ANC took over. You don't have to look far to see how many of these beauties are decaying, and many of us are playing a role in their decay, and we need to stop it now. Hate them or love them, those that were in charge before the ANC understood the value of these little things. These are places where families can go to breathe the fresh air and see interesting things. These are little things that seem meaningless to many people, but there are those among us who actually like to make sure that these little things are maintained and kept in good order. We want to go to museums, parks, beaches, zoos, aquariums, and find them clean, find them neat, beautiful, and safe for us as citizens. There are people who use their personal time and private wealth to build or maintain some of these places. They hand over everything to the ANC government, and here we are. Decay, decay, and more decay. The sad reality is that the vast majority of Black people in many countries, not just in South Africa, have not embraced a culture of preserving and maintaining things, especially if those things don't seem to provide clear, immediate, and obvious profit or value.
你们受欧洲国家管理这么长时间，应该是学到了很多先进的管理经验。
哪有多时间？没多时间了。我们炒那个古晋体啊，很炒。现在是54年了，第几50年那个？就是
50年以前，你不是都受到50年以前
什么都好啊？
是啊，那个先进的影响力，那个代代往传下来，越传越文明越发达了，怎么越来越倒退越落后了？把原有留下的东西根本都没有更加的爱护保护去利用它，反而都遭到毁灭性的重创，就成这样子的话。
Since procreation is attached with immediate pleasure, Blacks never struggle to preserve their DNA or their lineage. Making babies is too fun, so it is very difficult to fail at that. Alcohol and dancing to very loud music is fun and hence something that is done very, very well. We would rather do that than engage in maintaining and preserving things around us. That is the story of most, not all, Black people. When it comes to spending the company card, they don't struggle. When it comes to booking fancy hotels and traveling, they don't struggle. But are the potholes fixed? Is the beach clean? Is the museum maintained? Are the street lights on during the night when they should be on? Are you policing the streets? If you are Black and are not part of this group, share this video with someone who is so that we can get rid of this degrading behavior in our communities.
Poor state of some beaches in Durban have forced their closure at the start of school holidays. Umhlanga's main and bronze beaches were among those closed due to high E. coli levels. They've now been reopened. A malfunctioning pump station caused sewage to spill into the ocean, and that impacted water safety and quality. But there are pervasive poor maintenance and infrastructure issues in the province.
If you are Black and are part of this group, I know it may be making you feel funny and touched, but please don't let it stop there. Allow it to encourage you to change for the better. I was recently in the Eastern Cape for 5 days, and I can tell you that not once did I see the police or even a police van. Not once. You go to the beach and you realize that there are shady Black people on the beach. It did not matter whether it was a Monday or a Sunday, they were there. The beach, full of broken bottles when we want to walk barefooted and enjoy the sand under our feet. Others even threw an empty beer bottle into the ocean right next to where our children and us were trying to have a peaceful, fun family time. The peace and quiet is disturbed by the fact that some people are unable to have fun that is not associated with loud, dirty music and getting drunk. They unfortunately seem to see that as the best way to live and enjoy life. We went to visit an aquarium, and it is dilapidated. Who is in charge? Of course, it is the municipality. We went to the Calgary Transport Museum. That is an asset that belongs to the government. It has been closed for years, apparently since COVID. The walls are made of corrugated iron. Weeds have been growing everywhere. The old hearses, carts, and carriages are remnants of a long-gone era. They are the history of mankind on wheels, and here they sat in an area exposed to the elements and with no one cleaning them and maintaining them. This is valuable stuff that could be worth millions in decades. Their worth is in the experience. Our children can take school trips to see where the history of cars come from, but no one cares. Imagine, the man called Robin G. Wells and his wife Cynthia went through the work of building and or buying these carts, and then here they are in the hands of our politicians, and their decay begins to accelerate. This could be a tourist site creating employment for the people of Eastern Cape and income for the municipality. But no, shutting it up and letting it decay is what the ANC government would rather do. Not so long ago, people could go and view these ancient vehicles, but now it is closed to the public. Only the rats, the mold, and the grass will enjoy it. Meanwhile, we keep paying our taxes, hoping they will maintain these things, but they don't. They just don't. And what is worse is they don't seem to see anything wrong with that. This is what is happening to everything that surrounds us. If it is a service or institution or place or something that you do not notice or you don't need desperately every time, then you will fail to notice a decay creep in. It happens to stadiums and zoos, streets and tunnels, museums and aquariums, beaches and parks, streetlights, traffic lights, crime prevention and policing, border management. And bit by bit, they die. Bit by bit, they decay. Instead of taking a walk at night after dinner, you say, let me just wait until it is daylight. There are no street lights and I might get mugged. Instead of going to the beach with your children, you become too scared to even do it in the afternoon because dodgy and drunk people are there. Instead of going to the zoo and learning about or simply enjoying the animals, you think about how you're going to see neglected and few animals, and you just give up on that idea. We went to the East London Esplanade Beach on a Sunday and could not stay because of how it was full of noise from people's cars, many drunk people with alcohol bottles in hand. It was just not what we went to the beach for. And so we decided to leave and come back on Monday morning with the hopes that these people would be at work or school on Monday, allowing us to enjoy the peace and quiet of the beach. Monday morning, we got there and were welcomed by beer bottles from Sunday. Fortunately, some municipal workers were cleaning up when we got there, so it was not as bad as the people had left it the previous night. Anyway, we started playing and enjoying ourselves as a family, and in no time, we had people who were already drunk around 10 a.m. coming to disturb our peace. We felt unsafe and very uncomfortable with their behavior, especially around our children, and so we decided to pack up and look for the nearest beach, and that was Nahoon Beach. It was quiet, peaceful, with no drunk people, no beer bottles in sight, and no broken glass on the floor. Do you want to know one of the major differences between these two beaches? Esplanade Beach was full of black people, while Nahoon Beach had mainly white and some black people. To those who are allergic to the truth, it may sound like I am anti-black people, but the fact is the beach with black people was dirty and loud, while the beach with mainly white people was clean and peaceful. It's not a nice thing to share, even for me, but facts first, cry later. There's this myth that white people are so racist that whenever black people come into the same space as them, they leave that space and go to a different space to avoid black people. I do believe that racist white people do that, but you know, some white people are doing that simply because they want to get away from certain behavior. I'm not white and I ran away from the black people, not because they were black, but because of their behavior. You know what's funny? When white people choose to go further down the beach to get away from this behavior, maybe opening an eating place there, what do you know? Soon enough, the place becomes popular and the blacks are there again. White people begin to establish their little businesses where they get to maintain the standards, and we arrive and start playing that vulgar music from the boots of our cars first, and then we start to do it until late. Then next up, we have beer bottles all over the place and littering, and then we keep multiplying. If you're white, you better not complain, or else we will call you racist. White people who were used to these places being clean say, hey, why are you making a mess? Why are you behaving like an animal? You scream racism. Those black people who would love for us to improve our ways are also called names. If parties like the ANC, MK Party, and the EFF continue in our presence, these peaceful, educational, and recreational activities will not thrive. Good, clean, and maintained aquariums and zoos will cease to exist. Well-preserved museums will perish, fading into oblivion. Sports like rugby, swimming, and tennis will disappear. We will have athletics, soccer, and a lot of music, dance, and alcohol. Instead of catching chest pains from hearing these facts, let us acknowledge that some behaviors are truly better than others. Let us choose to abandon the non-beneficial behavior and adopt behaviors that ensure that we discover, preserve, build, and maintain South Africa's beauty. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm Katlego. This is Citizen Concerned. And until next time, beware of the comrades.